I'm back. So, continuing with what I said I was going to do yesterday. Yesterday, I did a review of my most anticipated movies of 2020 that didn't really go exactly as I planned. So, now, I'm going to give you what I believe are the most anticipated movies of 2021. Plus, I'll give you the release dates of a whole bunch of other movies that seem pretty cool. So, let's go through it. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
I'm sorry. I have another head. I have another song stuck in my head. We played Throwback Trivia today, and so I have it stuck in my head. Somebody's Baby, from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Like, and she's gonna be somebody's baby tonight. Honestly, it's a really catchy song. I think it's the first time I ever heard it, and I really liked it. So, there you go. In case you cared what I was humming. Anyway, before we get into this, let me just give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram and at Super Dario World. Streaming on YouTube and on Twitch at Super Dario World. If you want to see this video up later, it loads by itself. It's going to be on YouTube at Super Dario World. It probably takes a few hours, or maybe tomorrow morning. Whatever. Doesn't matter. You can find it there. I have the chat up right now if anybody wants to send me anything. I can see it right now. I got it to work. Yay. I don't know why, but sometimes it doesn't want to work. And tomorrow, I'm not exactly sure how things are going to work tomorrow because it's my mom's birthday, so I kind of have to, like, go to Mexico. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on my mood. Yeah? Okay, no, I do have to go. So I might just pre-record something. So tomorrow I might not do Twitch, or I might do it really early. Who knows? I'll play it by ear. Anyway, let's get into this whole thing because we've got a lot to go through. But, so, before I even get into the movies that I think are going to be the best, because I'm going to do two things. First, I'm going to tell you, the way that I did these rankings is I based it off of pretty much, I had to, there's too many movies coming out. Honestly, there's a big issue this year, and there's too many things coming out, because everything that got delayed from 2020, and all the things that were already planned for 2021. So, my list was way longer than usual, so I had to find ways to cheat, and I had to find ways of separating things that rank. So, like I told you yesterday, what I did is these are the rankings of the best geek movies. So that's like a way to keep it, kind of like simple. So I cut out, let's say, all the James Bonds. I cut out the Top Gun Maverick. I cut out the Mission Impossibles, the Jungle Cruise movie. So I took all those out of the rankings, but I'll tell you when they're coming out. So these are the movies. They're going to be good that I think are going to be good movies, and I'll tell you a little bit what they're about. So these are the movies that I think are going to be good. However, they're not part of my rankings. So coming out on February 26th, the movie's called Cherry. This is Tom Holland, and basically he's going into the army. It looks pretty interesting. You can check out the trailer. I believe it's out right now. Robert, I believe he worked with the Russo brothers here, and it's been getting a lot of really great praise. So I'm excited to see it. On March 5th, sticking with Tom Holland, we have the movie called Chaos Walking. Now, this is a movie that is Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley. You may know her as Rey from Star Wars. It's a different planet, or it's the future, and for some reason, men can hear their thoughts, or everybody can hear men's thoughts, but she's the only woman there, and they can't hear her thoughts. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm very curious, so there you go. If you're interested, Chaos Walking on March 5th. On March 12th, we got The Kingsman, which is the preview. It's the prequel to the Kingsman. Oh, so this is The Kingsman, and it's a preview to the Kingsman saga. There you go. Oh, hello, Jigsaw. How's it going? Next, we have on April 2nd, this is probably among the bigger titles of the year, No Time to Die. This is the final Daniel Craig James Bond movie. I'm not as excited about it. They changed directors. I was a big Sam Mendes guy, but we'll see how they close out. Could be interesting. On April, again, that's April 2nd. On April 23rd, we have A Quiet Place Part 2, which I'll be honest, I'm not exactly that excited about. I think the first one ended fine. The big one, the first one has a major plot hole, and to me it's like, why wouldn't you just live next to the waterfall the whole time where you could actually make noise? But yeah, whatever. Or just have something that's always making noise who would always mask. I don't know, man. Whatever. Doesn't matter. That's April 23rd. Then on May 28th, we have Fast and Furious 9. I stopped in like Fast 5, so but I know it's a big deal. July 2nd, we have Top Gun Maverick. This one looks pretty interesting. I'm very excited. It was shot here in San Diego. I'm very curious to see how it came out. A sequel, like 40 years later, should be interesting. Next, we have Space Jam 2: A New Legacy. This comes out on July 16th. Talk about things that you don't need or want, but whatever. I mean, they just, it could be good. It could be good. I just don't want it, don't need it. Anyway, next we have The Tomorrow War that's coming out on September 23rd. This is, I believe, Chris Pratt, and if I remember the description correctly, is a soldier gets recruited for a war of the future, and he needs to, in order to stop the war of the future, he needs to confront his past. So I don't know what it's about, but it's a war movie and it's Chris Pratt, and I like both of those things, so we'll see. Next we have Jungle Cruise on July 30th. I think this movie's gonna be fucking terrible. I think it's gonna suck. And it really bothers me because they say specifically that they're in South America and there's a fucking hippo. And if you know anything about fucking biology, you know that there's no hippos in fucking South America. Anyway, moving on. On September 9th, we have the Resident Evil reboot, which, okay. I didn't want it to need it, but let's see if they can do something with it, because it's a good franchise, and the other Resident Evil movies just went really, really crazy, but all right. On October 22nd, we have Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins. This could be really good, or this could be really bad. I don't know. Snake Eyes doesn't talk as far as I remember, so it could really, really suck. But we'll see. We'll see how they handle it. On what is it? October 15th, we have The Last Duel. Now, this movie looks pretty interesting. I believe it's like medieval times, and basically a king hires somebody to be like to go fight a duel for him, but it's like Matt Damon's in it, Ben Affleck's in it, Adam Driver's in it. So I mean I don't know what to expect from it, but just the cast alone seems pretty good, so I'm excited to see it. And finally, on November 19th, we have Mission Impossible 7. Like I said, November 19th. What is the big stunt for this one? This is not where they go in space. Oh, this is the one where Tom Cruise kept breaking his leg while trying to shoot it. But there you go. So there's like the big titles that are going to come out this year. They're not part of my rankings. So as you notice, it's mostly action movies or like kiddie movies or like the ninth sequel to fucking Fast and the Furious. So now we can move on to my rankings. These are what I believe will be the best movies to come out this year. Now, I need to clarify this. There's 3 movies that I kept out for one particular reason. Well, there's 2 that I kept out for a reason, and 1 that I kept out because I think it's going to suck, but I want to mention it. So I think this is going to be probably the worst movie of the year, and that is Morbius. The trailer looks terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. By the way, Mom Nabs, say thank you for all the love from Escondido. I appreciate it. Anyway, the trailer looked terrible, and this movie has been delayed several times already. Several times. And this is before COVID, I think. So, not looking forward to it. I thought it looked stupid. This is still Sony trying to make stuff for the Spider-Man characters, and they kind of like ixnayed on that whole universe. So, I don't know what the hell they're doing, but I just remember seeing the trailer and hating it. Now, this one supposedly is coming out on October 8th. Remember that. Morbius, October 8th. Supposedly it was supposed to come out last year, but got delayed. And the next 2 movies, I don't think they're gonna make the deadline. All right, so first off, we have Venom: Let There Be Carnage, which is coming out on June 25th. All right, let me say that again. Morbius, it was supposed to come out last year, is coming out on October 8th, but Venom, that was barely announced last year, is coming out on June 25th. How? How is it that the movie that was announced afterwards that it's coming out before? I have no idea what they're doing. I have no idea. Now, they changed the director. Now the director's going to be Andy Serkis. God, I really hated the first Venom. And I mean, I really hated the first Venom. It was terrible. It was, Tom Hardy acted his butt out, but unfortunately he overacted for what the role demanded. And, nothing with the symbiote made sense. I did not enjoy it. The villain made no sense. And so I wasn't looking forward to another one. And even though if they changed, they might have changed the director, but it's still the same fucking writer. So I'm not looking forward to it at all. So there you go. Now I forgot to change this. So Venom: Let Me Carnage on June 25th. I think it's gonna be pushed back. I really don't think they're gonna make that deadline. Finally, the other movie that I don't think will be coming out this year is Uncharted. This is another Tom Holland movie. Like, dude's been busy. This supposedly is gonna come out on July 16th. I think that's way too ambitious. I've talked about this movie a lot. First off, I think it's gonna suck because the director he signed on like less than a month before they were supposed to start shooting. Fortunately for them, COVID delayed stuff, so that was actually very, very lucky. Sup, 6 emojis, 4. I don't know what you're saying, but okay, what's up? And so the movie got delayed, and that might have helped them a little bit. And like I said, planning a movie takes time. So if you hire somebody, if you hire a director, you need at least, if you're going to shoot a month, you need at least a month and a half to do pre-production. So that means that the dude probably didn't have time to make any adjustments to the script. He probably didn't have a time to do anything in his own style. And that's really not a way that I would like to work if I'm being a creative person, if I'm in a creative role. It had a lot of COVID issues. It was right in the middle of it. I just think it's too fast. It's too rushed. The script, I mean, if you played the game, it's a long story, man. It's a long story, and it's you have to be very selective with what you cut out and what you leave in, because otherwise things are not gonna make sense. So it's too ambitious. It's too ambitious. I don't like it. I think it's gonna be delayed. My gut tells me that we won't be seeing Uncharted anytime this year. So, or maybe at the end, but I doubt it. Anyway, so those are the ones that I kept out of the top 10, and that's why I'm explaining it now. Now, let's move on to the ones that I think are going to be the 10 best geek movies of the year. So, this one, my first pick, I'll be honest, I'm hoping against hope. I made this pick purely with my heart, and it's because I want this franchise to be good so bad. And so number 10, I have Mortal Kombat. So this is like the new Mortal Kombat reboot. It's gonna be coming out on theaters and on HBO Max on April 16th. I really want this franchise to be good. I love the Mortal Kombat franchise. If you played the game, everybody knows Mortal Kombat because it's a brutal game, but the story is extremely good. It has such rich lore, such rich mythos. It's so interesting. The characters are great. So if they could finally get their shit together and the first Mortal Kombat movie was actually pretty good. It was pretty decent. The second one, they just blew it. So if they can get their act together and make this an actual franchise, it could actually be pretty enjoyable. Unfortunately, and the reason why it's all the way down at number 10, coming out on April 16th, I haven't seen a trailer. Like, I barely even seen a poster. I think this is the logo, but still, we haven't really seen anything. And the big issue here, it's a first-time director. And by first-time director, I mean, I think this is his first major film. Like, he's only ever done, like, I don't know, short stories and stuff, and I think only one. So, kind of nervous. And he doesn't have producer credits, he doesn't have writer credits. So, kind of nervous about that, but the dude probably got hired for a reason. So, who knows? Let's just say I'm hoping against hope. I'm hoping against hope. That the franchise becomes something, but we'll see. Next, number 9, I have a tie because I think both of these two movies have pretty much the same issues. By the way, a lot of the issues that I have with making the rankings this year is that, well, there's not a lot of info on these movies. there's not that many trailers for me to go on. Usually, one of the rules that I have for my ranking is that if the movie has to have a trailer in order for me to consider it to put in my rankings, because it gives me kind of like a taste and a feel for the movie. most of these don't have anything. So I'm going off of writers and directors and all that stuff in the rep. Also, thank you, Dario. They need to put you on the show already. I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. I'm kind of on the show already a bit, but more is never. There's no such thing as too much Dario. I like to think. Anyway, says the guy with the podcast named Super Dario World. Anyway, so. Where was I? So, number 9, I have a tie. And this is because both of these movies have the same issue. And they're both MCU movies. So, first off, we have Shangshi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This is going to be kind of like a kung fu movie. And I have The Eternals. So, Shangshi is coming out on July 9th. And The Eternals is coming out on November 15th. Both of these directors are okay, but they've never done a film of this caliber. They've never done a MCU. They've never done a superhero. They've never done a movie with this budget. So the director for Shang-Chi has a little bit more experience, but the director for The Eternals, definitely, I have no idea where they hired her. Imagine being thrown into the major leagues. Imagine you being like, I don't know, a college quarterback and going into the NFL. You need a preseason, man. you need training. You need to do baby steps. It's not easy. It's not easy going from doing a $100,000 movie, a $10 million movie, to doing a $120 million movie. It takes time. It takes time to adjust to all the new toys that you have, to all the new tech, to all the new things that you have to consider. Even Martin Scorsese had issues the first time he used green screen. It takes time. It's difficult. Not everybody is a prodigy. Not everybody knocks it out of the park on the first time. Not everybody's Tom Brady. All right, that just wins the Super Bowl the first time he's there. It doesn't always or usually happen. So, I'm concerned about that. Second, for both of them. Second, I'm concerned about the right. By the way, why do I still have that logo? All right, so this is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Sorry, oops. Forgot to change it. And this is The Eternals. So The Eternals, you can't really see much, so I'm just going to stick to Shang-Chi so that it's a little bit... Anyway, the issue that I have with the writers is that, first off, the writer for Shang-Chi, he wrote the movie Doom, and he wrote Wonder Woman 1984, most recently. So let's just say, I don't trust the guy, all right? I kind of do not trust the guy. Next, for the writer for The Eternals, they've only ever written like short films. They've only ever done short films before. So again, same thing. Now you're going to be writing a massive, huge, gigantic CGI film that's going to be mostly CGI. You need experience with that type of shit. Otherwise it comes out crappy. Like it's a very similar issue that what happened. You can see, I mean, if you know what to look for, you can tell. Like for example, in Birds of Prey, you can tell the director did not consider certain things that should be considered. She was just very excited with all the new toys that she had to play with. And that's why the movie sucks. So it might look very pretty. It might look very elegant. It might look very nice, but it will suck. And that's usually been my experience. So I'm concerned. Now, the advantage that they have, and the reason why they're not at the bottom, is that this is the MCU. This is Marvel. This is Disney. And I don't think they will allow a failure. So they may hold their hands a lot, to say it nicely. But I think that it'll be at least watchable. It actually could be good. And that's because I don't think that Marvel will allow them to make bad movies for the MCU. Even though they have made bad movies. Captain Marvel. Anyway, let's move on. So that's number 9. Like I said, I have a tie. Number 8, I have Godzilla vs. Kong. Now, I've had a major issue with the Godzilla movies that come out, the recent ones. And that's because there's not enough Godzilla. That's the issue with them. Too much humans, not enough Godzilla. Not enough kaiju fights. Not enough giant kaijus kicking each other's asses. Like, and it's terrible because they actually mentioned it in the first movie. Like, what's his name's character? I don't know, I forget his name. But the character, just let them fight. Let them fight. That's what the audience wants. Just let them fight. Take all the humans out of it. Just be Godzilla trying to kick Kong's ass for 2 hours. Hell, for 1 hour. I'd be happy. So, you know what? I'll be happy with that ratio. 1 hour Godzilla and King Kong fighting. Hey, you know what? I'll do you one better. Half an hour of build-up. half an hour of fight and half an hour of, I don't know, whatever you want humans to do. Nobody cares about the humans. So if it's all just a big CGI fight, I'll be happy. It could be the best movie of the year if it's all just a giant kaiju fight. We'll see how they handle it. Anyway, this one comes out on May 21st. We'll see how they handle it. Moving on to number 7, we have Free Guy. Now, this is the Ryan Reynolds film. Basically, he's an NPC that's a non-player character in a video game, and he decides, I don't want to be an NPC anymore. I want my life to matter. He's tired of getting killed, and he actually wants to do something different. The movie looks beyond stupid. And I mean beyond stupid. And that's why I love it. I think it looks hysterical. I think it could be great. The premise is beyond ridiculous, and I think that's great. It's going to be, if it could be like a great gamer movie, and it might be just for gamers, but I'm a gamer, so I don't give a fuck. So I'm very much looking forward to this. The director has done a few bigger movies before, and he has directed a bunch of episodes for Stranger Things, so I think he kind of gets it, but we'll see. This one comes out on May 21st. I'm very, very excited about it. Next, number 6, we have The Matrix 4. Now, I'm skeptical about this. The only reason why it's so high, it's because, all right, Keanu's coming back, Trinity's coming back. It looks like at least one of the Wachowskis is coming back, and so all right, it has potential. The franchise has a lot of potential. And I think it will be successful just, for name recognition alone. And they left a lot of meat on the bone there. So this is one of the ones that I'm hoping against hope. Because the third one was really bad. At least the ending was bad. So hopefully they kind of get their shit together. And hopefully they go in a direction that's interesting. Because the first Matrix was fantastic. But we'll see. So I'm being optimistic. I'm keeping it number 6. We'll see how it goes. It may be a little bit too late for this sequel, but we'll see. We'll see. This one comes out on December 22nd. Moving on to number 5, we have Black Widow. So this is another MCU movie. It was supposed to come out last year. I think this movie is going to close out the Infinity Saga because it's a prequel. I think this one, it comes out between Infinity Wars. Well, the timeline, I believe it's between Infinity Wars and Civil War. Well, between Civil War and Infinity Wars. I'm not exactly 100% sure. I guess we'll see when the movie comes out. I have it as number 5 because I'm not sure about the director. Same issue as the other ones. No experience making this type of movie. No experience making an action movie. It's hard to make an action movie. Just like any other thing, specializing in one particular style is difficult. I don't know, a rap artist is going to have issues making classical music. A rock star is going to have issues making hip hop. Now, they could probably do it, and it may even come out better, but it's hard. It's not what they've specialized in. It's not what they have experience on. So far, what I saw from the directors, IMDb, not a lot of experience, but again, she's got the advantage that most of this, first off, the cast's phenomenal. I love Rachel Weisz, and I love, what's her name? Michelle Pugh? I don't know, something like that. Pugh. I don't know, whatever her last name is. I like her. I'm whatever about ScarJo, and I love that Hopper is coming in here too. But but they've got the advantage that Disney and the MCU specifically has the best stunt team in the business, and Disney will be holding their hand and will probably making sure that, okay, we're following all these things to keep them in line, I guess. So that's the advantage that they have. So that's why it's all the way up to number 5. If this is basically a spy movie with Black Widow in it and like a few other kooky characters, that could be great. But we'll see. The reason why I'm not as worried about this one as the other ones is because we've already seen The Winter Soldier, and we kind of know what a great spy superhero movie is. And if they just follow that formula, I think that it'll be fine. I think it'll be successful. So again, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Next, number 4, and this is one of those moments where you're like, I'm ready to get hurt again. I'm ready to get hurt again. So, because number 4, I have the Suicide Squad. Now, I this franchise has hurt me before because I remember watching the Comic-Con trailer of the original of the first Suicide Squad, and I watched the first trailer and I was like, this is going to be the best movie of the year, and I put it in my rankings of that year, number one, Suicide Squad, and it broke my heart into a million pieces because it's one of the worst pieces of crap I've ever seen in my life. So, you'd think I'd be like, fuck them, I won't trust them ever again, but like I said, I'm ready to be hurt again. Uh, things are different this time. Not just because it's a bigger cast, but the big thing is the director. They hired James Gunn. Now, for those of you who don't know who James Gunn is the director of the Guardians of the Galaxy. That guy took a bunch of nobodies, and I don't mean just like the actors who at that point were like B-level actors. Like Chris Pratt was a B-level actor. So Zoe Saldana was in the highest grossing film of the year, but Batista was like a nobody, a tree, and Vin Diesel, but it was only voice. Oh, Bradley Cooper, it was also just voice. Anyway, the point is, took a bunch of nobodies, and by nobodies I actually meant more the characters, and made them into pivotal characters of the MCU. It turned a franchise that nobody even heard about into a billion-dollar franchise. So that guy got fired by Disney for bullshit reasons, and everybody and their mother was pissed off about it. And so DC did a smart move and hired that guy to make a rated R Suicide Squad movie. So this is kind of his revenge, baby, and he gets to do all the things that he couldn't do in the MCU. Now, eventually, Disney hired him back, and now he's doing Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy, which, all right, good for him. Honestly, all the success of the world. But this is still his revenge, baby, and this is still, he can still do a rated R superhero film, which is kind of what everybody wants to do, but the MCU doesn't allow it until now because, I'll get into that announcement in another episode. But point is, he said, it's rated R, no hero safe. Now, I'm pretty sure that he's not going to kill Harley Quinn, but I really hope he kills Harley Quinn. Not because I don't like Margot Robbie. I think she's one of the best parts in the DC cinematic universe. But it would be like sending out a message. Nobody's fucking safe in the Suicide Squad. So, I'm looking forward to it. James Gunn has got a really fucked up sense of humor. So give him a rated R superhero film, and I think it's going to be loads of fucked up fun. So, hope you're looking forward to that. This one comes out on HBO Max and on cinema on August 6th. August 6th. By the way, I'm not sure if I said Black Widow, but Black Widow is May 7th. So there you go. Now moving on to the top three. So top three, I have, number three, coming out on June 11th, I have Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dario, the last Ghostbusters sucked. Yeah, we're pretending like that one didn't exist. Because, honestly, it didn't exist. Nobody cares. Nobody watched it. And those who did want to pretend like they didn't. So, this one is actually what they're calling the true sequel to the original movies. It's the son of the original director, and the Jason Reitman, who's actually a legit director. The dude directed Juno. He directed Up in the Air. So he's a legit director. He's got his own unique style that's fun and has a lot of heart. Adding Paul Rudd to it seemed excellent to me. The kids are really good. They got the kid from Stranger Things. The girl, I believe she was from Fuller House. She's actually pretty good too. And the original cast supposedly is going to be coming back. They're actually doing an homage to the character that died. So honestly, I'm very much hopeful to this. I saw the trailer, it gave me goosebumps. So that actually tells you a lot. Now it could have just been the music, but I don't know. I'm hopeful. I'm hoping against hope, but I don't care. I think this could be really, really good. That's why I have it all the way at number 3. Number 2, the most anticipated movies of 2021, coming out on November 5th. I have Spider-Man 3. This is the newest Spider-Man, and let me tell you something. This one seems really rushed, and I mean really rushed. The only reason why I think it will actually come out is I think that Marvel will be desperate for this movie to come out. They're going to do their best to push it to make sure it comes out, and it comes out on time. Because here they're doing a whole bunch of stuff. It looks like it's going to be some kind of Spider-Verse movie, but it's been confirmed that Doc Ock's coming back, and I mean Alfred Molina. that there's going to the other two previous Spider-Man's going to come back. Tom, what is it? Tobey Maguire and Garfield are going to be coming back here. Jamie Foxx is going to be coming back as Electrode. What is Doctor Strange is going to make an appearance. So Daredevil from the Netflix TV series is going to be making an appearance. So everybody and their mother is going to be showing up in this movie. I think might be something that kind of collides the universes and they try to fix all that shenanigans that they have in the Spider-Verse. I don't know what the hell's going to happen, but I think that this is going to be the first step in the next stage of the MCU. Also, and the reason why I believe that, not just because Doctor Strange is going to be showing up and the next Doctor Strange movie is titled The Multiverse of Madness, but the director of this movie, the director of Spider-Man 3, will also be directing the Fantastic Four. So I am expecting that there's going to be some kind of Fantastic Four tie-in here. So like I said, this movie is most likely going to be pivotal for the rest of the MCU, for the next stage, for the next saga. I would bet money, hard money, that this movie will come out on time because they have to. I don't see how the MCU moves forward without Spider-Man, without this movie being good, and without this movie setting up all the other stuff that it needs to set up. Because like I said, if Doctor Strange is making an appearance here and he has a movie coming out next year, he has to come out in this one. Everybody and their mother is making a cameo here. The director's directing the Fantastic Four, so the Fantastic Four have to at least be mentioned in this one. This movie will be critical. And so that's why I have it as number 2. Because I think that Disney's going to put all their weight behind it. And that's usually a good thing for movies. So it usually helps when they just throw money at you. It's like, here, money, make a movie. Oh my God, no, too much money, whatever. Usually helps out. It kind of motivates you. Anyway, moving on. Finally, the last movie, the most anticipated movie of the year, the movie that I think is going to be the best movie of the year, coming out on HBO Max and on theaters on October 1st, we have Dune. Now, Dune was my number 1 movie pick for last year, and it's my number 1 movie pick this year because I'm a fucking consistent human being. And because honestly, like, it's a risk in a way because it's a very difficult franchise to adapt into a film, but it has a very high. So, the director Denis Villeneuve, he directed the newest Blade Runner, which I enjoyed more than the original Blade Runner. I know, don't throw anything at me. I'm not saying it's better, except I think it's better and I enjoy it more. He directed Arrival. So and what other sci-fi film did he do? I'm blanking out right now. But the dude's directed really, really great sci-fi films, and but I believe pretty much the previous movies that he directed won Best Cinematography for the Oscar for Best Cinematography because they're very, very beautiful looking films. Of what I've seen from this one, visually it looks very impressive, and the cast is extraordinary. So I trust the director. I like the cinematographer because it's the same guy, and the cast is insane. We got Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Javier Bardem, Jason Momoa, Josh Brolin, Batista, Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Stellan Skarsgård. The cast is insane. The story is already phenomenal. It's considered by many to be the greatest sci-fi story of all time. You debated with them. I was reading the book, and as I was reading the book, I did not understand a lot of it. And so I checked the back of the book, and because they say a lot of really weird words, and then at the back of the book, there's the what each of those words means. So it's like, oh, well, this will make it easier. And as I started doing that, they announced they're going to make the movie. And I was like, all right, I'm stopping right now. Because I have the issue that if I read a book and then I see the movie, I hate the movie. However, if I see the movie, because they took out a bunch of stuff. However, if I see the movie and then I read the book, I love it. Because the book adds to the movie. So I don't hate it then. I don't know if it's weird. I don't know. The point is, I think this movie is going to be great. I said it last year, and I meant it. I'm saying it this year, and I meant it. Unfortunately, Sky's a pussy, and she backed out from our bet because we made a bet last year that that Dune was going to be better than Wonder Woman 1984, and now since this one got delayed, now I can't make those $20 back, but whatever. I'm sticking to my guns. I think it's going to be the best movie of the year, and it's the one at least that I'm most excited for after that Spider-Man. So there you go. There you go. Those are my most anticipated movies of 2020. Hopefully you agree. Hopefully you're excited for these. Should I tell you the... Nah, you know what? Doesn't matter. You can just re-listen to this and you'll see the dates there. But that's it for today. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram and at Super Dario World. Streaming on YouTube and on Twitch at Super Dario World. If you want to check out this video, it will load itself on YouTube later. So, I don't know, let's say, a few hours, if not tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing a podcast, or at least I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing one live on Twitch. Basically, because it's my mom's birthday, so I might just pre-record something now real quick, because there's something I want to rant about. Shocker. But we'll see. I don't know. I'll play it by ear. If I do a stream, it might be early, or I'll just pre-record something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. As always, thank you for listening, and thank you for joining me now that I got the chat to work. But as always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next time.